Welcome to our exploration of the Barents Sea, one of the northernmost seas in the world. Let's dive into its unique features and significance. Situated above the Arctic Circle, where the sun barely sets in summer and barely rises in winter, the Barents Sea might seem like a harsh and unforgiving environment, yet beneath its icy surface lies a world teeming with life. A delicate balance of nature caught between the stark beauty of the Arctic and the warmth of the Atlantic. Join us as we journey through this extraordinary ecosystem, uncovering its secrets and understanding its global importance. The Barents Sea, a realm where icy waters meet the warmth of the Gulf Stream, occupies a strategically important location in the Arctic. To the east, the Kola Peninsula, a rugged finger of land, stretches out from Russia, while to the west, the Svalbard archipelago, a haven for polar bears and walruses, stands guard. This unique sea serves as a bridge between the Atlantic and the Arctic Oceans, a vital passage for marine life and a crossroads for human activities. To the south, the Norwegian Sea connects the Barents Sea to the vast expanse of the Atlantic, carrying with it the warm currents that influence its climate. It is this delicate interplay between land and sea, between the chill of the Arctic and the relative warmth of the south, that defines the Barents Sea. The Kola Peninsula, rich in mineral resources, has long been a focal point for human settlement and industry. Svalbard, with its dramatic glaciers and snow-capped peaks, offers a glimpse into the raw beauty of the high Arctic. The Barents Sea is not merely a body of water. It is a confluence of ecosystems, a meeting point of nations, and a vital component of the global ocean system. The Barents Sea, though nestled within the Arctic Circle, experiences a climate that sets it apart from its icy neighbours. Unlike many Arctic seas that remain locked in ice for much of the year, the Barents Sea enjoys a surprisingly mild climate, thanks to the influence of the North Atlantic Drift. This warm current, a distant arm of the Gulf Stream, flows northward, carrying with it warmer, saltier water from the Atlantic Ocean. The North Atlantic Drift acts like a giant hot water bottle, moderating temperatures and keeping parts of the Barents Sea ice-free even during the depths of winter. This influx of warm water creates a unique environment where Arctic and Atlantic species can coexist, making the Barents Sea a biodiversity hotspot in the high north. However, this delicate balance is under threat. Climate change is causing the Arctic to warm at an alarming rate, and the Barents Sea is feeling the effects. The inflow of warm Atlantic water is increasing, altering the sea's salinity and temperature, with potential consequences for its delicate ecosystem. The future of the Barents Sea, its unique climate, and the life it sustains hangs in the balance as the planet grapples with a changing climate. Beneath the surface of the Barents Sea lies a world teeming with life, a delicate web of interconnected species that have adapted to survive in this challenging environment. From microscopic plankton to massive whales, the Barents Sea supports a rich biodiversity that is vital to the health of the entire Arctic ecosystem. One of the most important inhabitants of the Barents Sea is the cod. These fish, with their distinctive white lateral line and mottled skin, are a keystone species, playing a crucial role in the food web. Cod feed on smaller fish and crustaceans while themselves becoming prey for larger predators like seals, whales, and even seabirds. The Barents Sea is home to one of the largest cod stocks in the world, supporting a thriving fishing industry that is vital to the economies of Norway and Russia. But cod are not alone in this underwater realm. Haddock, with their distinctive black lateral line and dark spot behind their gills, are another commercially important species found in abundance in the Barents Sea. Capelin, small silvery fish that form massive schools, are a crucial link in the food chain, providing sustenance for larger predators. The Barents Sea also serves as a vital feeding ground for migratory species. Whales, including humpback whales, fin whales, and even the occasional blue whale, visit the Barents Sea during the summer months to feast on the abundance of krill and other small organisms. Seals like the harp seal and the ringed seal rely on the Barents Sea for breeding and raising their pups. This rich tapestry of life, woven together by intricate relationships, is what makes the Barents Sea such a special place. The Barents Sea, a region of immense natural beauty and ecological significance, also holds vast reserves of another kind, oil and natural gas. Beneath the seabed, trapped within ancient geological formations, lie vast deposits of these fossil fuels, resources that have become increasingly important to the global energy market. For Norway and Russia, the two countries that share the Barents Sea, these offshore oil and gas reserves represent a significant economic opportunity. Norway, a pioneer in offshore oil and gas production, has been extracting resources from the Barents Sea for decades, carefully managing its reserves and investing heavily in technology to minimize environmental impact. Russia, with its vast energy needs, is also looking to the Barents Sea to meet its growing demand for oil and gas. The Stockman field, one of the largest natural gas fields in the world, lies beneath the Barents Sea and is seen as a key source of future energy supplies. However, the extraction of oil and gas from this sensitive environment is not without its risks. The Barents Sea, a region of immense strategic and economic importance, has long been a focal point for geopolitical maneuvering. For centuries, the Barents Sea was a watery frontier, its boundaries ill-defined, its ownership contested. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 brought about a new era in Barents Sea geopolitics. Norway and Russia, now sharing a maritime border in the Barents Sea, were faced with the challenge of delimiting their respective exclusive economic zones, areas where each country has sovereign rights to explore and exploit marine resources. For years, the two countries negotiated, seeking a solution that would satisfy their overlapping claims. Finally, in 2010, a historic agreement was reached. The delimitation agreement, signed by Norway and Russia, established a clear and mutually acceptable maritime boundary in the Barents Sea. This agreement, a testament to the power of diplomacy and cooperation, removed a long-standing source of tension between the two countries and paved the way for increased cooperation in managing the Barents Sea's resources. The Barents Sea, once a potential flashpoint, is now a model for international cooperation, a testament to the ability of nations to resolve their differences peacefully and work together to manage shared resources. The Barents Sea, a region of breathtaking beauty and ecological significance, is facing a growing number of environmental threats. Climate change, pollution from human activities, and the impacts of oil and gas exploration are putting increasing pressure on this fragile ecosystem. The Arctic, where the Barents Sea lies, is warming at twice the rate of the rest of the planet. This warming is causing sea ice to melt at an alarming rate, disrupting the delicate balance of life in the Barents Sea. Ice-dependent species like polar bears, walruses, and some species of seals are losing their hunting grounds and breeding areas as the ice retreats. Pollution from land-based sources, such as industrial discharge and agricultural runoff, is also a concern. These pollutants can accumulate in the food chain, posing risks to marine life and potentially to human health. Oil spills, a constant threat in any area of offshore oil and gas activity, could have devastating consequences for the Barents Sea's ecosystem. The Barents Sea, like many of the world's oceans, is also becoming increasingly noisy. Shipping traffic, seismic surveys for oil and gas exploration, and military sonar can all generate underwater noise pollution that can disrupt marine life, interfering with communication, navigation, and foraging behavior. Protecting the Barents Sea requires international cooperation, sustainable management practices, and a commitment to reducing our impact on this fragile and vital ecosystem. As the Arctic ice continues to melt at an unprecedented rate, a new and potentially transformative opportunity is emerging in the Barents Sea. A transarctic shipping route, this route, which would connect the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans through the Arctic, has the potential to reshape global trade and redefine maritime commerce. The Northern Sea Route, as it is known, would significantly shorten shipping times between Europe and Asia, cutting down on fuel consumption and reducing carbon emissions compared to traditional shipping routes through the Suez or Panama canals. For countries with extensive Arctic coastlines like Russia, the Northern Sea Route offers the potential to unlock vast, untapped resources and boost economic development in the Arctic region. However, the prospect of increased shipping traffic through the Barents Sea also raises significant concerns. The Arctic environment is notoriously harsh and unforgiving, posing significant risks to navigation and safety. Oil spills, a constant threat in any area of maritime activity, would be even more devastating in the Arctic's cold and pristine waters. The potential environmental impacts of increased shipping through the Barents Sea are a major concern. Ship noise, air pollution, and the potential introduction of invasive species could all have significant impacts on the Arctic's fragile ecosystem. Navigating the challenges and opportunities presented by the Northern Sea Route requires careful planning, international cooperation, and a commitment to protecting the Arctic's fragile environment. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Barents Sea. From its unique location and climate to its rich biodiversity and geopolitical significance, the Barents Sea is a region of immense importance to the entire planet. As we have seen, the Barents Sea is facing a number of challenges, from climate change and pollution to the impacts of oil and gas exploration and increased shipping traffic. But it is also a region of resilience and hope, where international cooperation and sustainable management practices offer hope for the future. Stay tuned for more explorations of our planet's most fascinating regions.